There are a few things I am sure of. Only a couple of colors I can tell from a distance. Of these concrete certainties, one. Arial is the best font for writing. It is the easiest to decipher. Crying, two. The best poems are about crying, dying, and suicide, or at least they are the easiest for me to remember. Three. I hate list poems, but I keep writing them. Four. I keep writing because death and crying are certainties, and I am trying to avoid killing myself because of them. It would be easy for me to tell you I am confident. Lying is easy. Believe me when I am silent, I am a deception, like carved out Bible verses, using sermons to patchwork God into a pickaxe, to punch holes in small children that later will be filled with alcohol and self-loathing. I have learned to hate myself. Five. I hate myself for not believing in Jesus enough to forgive you for leaving, for constantly writing notes to you. Notes underneath my heart muscle in hidden places. Places I hide because loving you is like broken bones, amputated limbs, and fish hooks underneath collarbones, snatching bone fragments, searing pain, and screaming. Six. One day I will leave here, more than likely screaming, I deserve it, I have lied to you, I hate myself. Most of these words are about dying. I wrote them in Arial. One day you will read them. Seven. Forgiveness is the process of letting go. Holding on to diamonds is the same thing as holding on to sand. They will both be here long after you are finished. Give yourself forgiveness now while you can enjoy it. 8. Judgment should be reserved for something bigger than I am. I have trouble seeing the forest for the trees, and once thought it was a good idea to drink an entire bottle of Mad Dog 2020, then jump a bike off a ramp we made with used nails and plywood, so I probably don't have the best judgment. 9. Love is the only thing that can save you. It is a promise you make to keep what is inevitably leaving. A seasoning that makes everything sweet. It is the face of God we most often look for, so love. Like it'll kill you not to. Because if you don't, it might kill you not to. Forgive because it makes love that much easier, and hating yourself can kill you. Forgive like everything will work out fine. Know that everything is leaving like it was supposed to, and that is working out. Be fine with that and love life accordingly. There are few things I am sure of. Only a couple of colors I can tell from a distance. Love is one of them. You'll recognize it. It's the same color as a smile. So I thought I'd read you a few poems. They did this thing called the 30-30 challenge. A lot of the touring poets wrote poems for said challenge. I'm sorry, and a lot of the poets wrote poems for said challenge. This is not one of those poems. But if you were interested in seeing the 30-30 poems that I wrote, you can go to www.mariothepoet.wordpress.com. I'm not selling anything there. That wasn't a plug. That was just a mention. I promised I wouldn't sell you anything else. This is a poem I wrote. I'll do this one and another, and I think I'll be done. That'll be about my time. I thank you all for being such a receptive audience. This is called We Are Milwaukee. We are Milwaukee. Detroit, Dayton, and Cincinnati, Ohio, Chicago, Birmingham, South Central, Los Angeles. We are New York City, and the Miami that can't afford to see LeBron play basketball. As a matter of fact, we are Cleveland, Akron, and Compton, California. America is dying, starving, and poor. We are Little Rock, Boise, Provo, Utah, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and Brownsville, Texas, on food stamps, eating noodles for dinner, wearing the same clothes we had on yesterday, looking for jobs that don't exist for us anymore. We are Black, Latino, Asian, and white, dreaming the American nightmare. There is no more middle here. You are standing on high ground or drowning. It is either Macy's or Walmart. We are at the point of imploding critical mass. The people are too hungry to be outraged. stripes across our backs, beaten into submission. The situation is bleak, and there's a Category 4 storm on the horizon. God bless America, or so they say. But just yesterday, I saw an entire family, mother, father, 2 children, and a dog, washing up in a bus station bathroom, a lifetime of possessions in the back seat of a Ford Expedition. I thought to myself, if this is a blessing, then what the hell do curses look like? Don't let the smooth taste fool you. For every American Idol, every video vixen, every first-round draft pick, there are piles to miles of dehydrated, malnourished, disenfranchised masses huddled together in slums and ghettos, fighting over rocks and ice, fixing drugs and makeshift laboratories, slicing at each other's throats and minor provocation, put rats in a barrel and watch them kill each other for freedom, clawing each other back, ripping, gouging, tearing, anything to survive. This is your country. Face the books. Update this status. We are losing. Globalization didn't work. Trickle down is only good for urinals, and if Jesus were to return in the next 30 days, we would have a lot of explaining to do. Though I have never seen it, they say, at the foot of the Statue of Liberty, it reads, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." Will someone please let this chick know we are full up? As a matter of fact, we got a surplus, and if she wouldn't mind, could she put down the torch and help out at a soup kitchen or two, ring the alarm, sound the bugle, turn the air raid sirens up full blast, a warning, not a Nostradamus prediction. This is a surveyor's assessment. We are out of time for discussion. The Senate, the President, as a matter of fact, United States Secretary of Defense Robert Gates and the Joint Chiefs are on notice. The revocation is coming. The revolution took too long brewing. We are here for your titles, your land, and the head of your firstborn. This is a coup d'etat. We want our nation back. Our habeas corpus is suspended. Tell the Billionaire Boys Club the citizens are setting fires and looting. It would be in their best interest to relocate or face armed mobs, incensed and apparently inconsolable. Think I am playing. If you want to, we will be doing an extreme home makeover, and there is nothing Barack can say about it. Hand it over, all of it, now. We waited for FEMA 5 days in the water, floating in the blazing heat. We will not beg any longer. Change is coming, right here, right now. The final poem I wanted to do for you all this evening is a poem that is deep to my heart. I began doing poetry in 2005. I used to rap, and I was a rapper, and I enjoyed it. And Lil Wayne, I don't know if you know who he is, but he became popular, and I said I quit. If that's what you people want, then I'm not doing that. So. This is the first poem that I wrote. It is my purpose poem. It is the reason why I write, and it is dedicated to a dear friend who is no longer amongst us, as the poem will explain. It is a true story with a bit of poetic license added. It means a lot to me, and I hope you enjoy it, and I thank you all. I will leave after it is finished because that's just how I do. She sits alone. Just a tattered windbreaker in a pocket, full of spare change and thoughts, colored like questions till her heart reeks with confusion. 1,000 little white lies she rinses her hairs with, ignores their stares with false pride and shallow bravado. What a pretty young girl, careful to seem carefree. Exposes enough of herself to hide everything else because, well, everything melts when your heart's not cold enough to keep it frozen like time was. Like Daddy's last lie was, you see, they share secrets, the kind when whispered hit you full on like sledgehammers and decent I love yous. You can't rinse off with bleach and dishwashing liquid that won't scrub out with tears and fingernails that you can't wash out with Patron and painkillers. Just ask her. She's tried. Her body's so young, but her spirit so tired. See, tainted love stains like urine on mattresses or prayers unanswered another night she's lived through. Man, what it feel like when God can't hear you? Probably something like your father's cold, sweaty hands clasped around your mouth to muffle your screaming. Spends most of her days dreaming, because nightmares, they work day shift. You know, spend more time with the kids till one eve of a silent night, after we had left her there, covered in self-loathing, exposed and disgusted, wrapped in sheets that knew too much, had seen too much. She took up arms against the victim, put the business end of a hidden revolver in her mouth, and transformed herself. Right there, underneath the tree, next to a new bike. Borrowed blood. 16 years of living a life she never owned. Her body, just a decoration now. Underneath the evergreen with tinsel and strung popcorn husks dangling from her hair. The contents of her skull plastered against the window like canned snow. The reporter on the 11 o'clock news reported about rising gas prices and an imaginary sleigh sighting. That night, an angel died. According to the Centers for Disease Control, in the last decade, the suicide rate among preteen and young teenage American girls rose 76%. I only knew one. She rode the bus to school with me. A tattered windbreaker and a pocket full of quarters she would share with me for snacks before the bus arrived. She never made it home from winter vacation. On occasion, I'll see her in the eyes of a girl on a bus stop or at a stoplight. When I realized it couldn't be her, the emotions, they well up in me. I couldn't have known. There's nothing I could have done different. If it wasn't for the note she left, it would never been found out and convicted. But what I can give my friend, altered by distorted affections and blasting powder, is this poem and a plea to the protectors of young girls. Please listen. Hold their hands. Be the one who saves them, because according to the Centers for Disease Control, in the last decade, the suicide rate among preteen and young teenage American girls rose 76%. And there's got to be something we can do